During World War II, beloved author C.S. Lewis hosted a few children from the English countryside who had to leave their homes because of the German air raids. This increased Lewis's appreciation of children, and he began working on a children's story. This story would blossom into one of the most influential milestones of English literature, the Chronicles of Narnia. It consisted of 7 novels, all published between 1950 and 56. 3 of the novels were adapted into movies: The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, and The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which pulled in a new generation of Narnia fans. It was understandably exciting for many fans to hear that there was a new Narnia film in the works, so let's look at everything we know about it so far, but not before you tap that subscribe button. Let's get started. All about the crew. In July 2023, right after the success of Barbie, director Greta Gerwig signed a deal with Netflix to write and direct 2 films based on the Chronicles of Narnia. Gerwig seems to be the right choice to bring the movie to screen, as she's expressed her reverence for Narnia before. She's always been a fan of the books and admitted she was kind of scared of adapting a British work as an American. She also added that when she's working on the script, she likes to think that she has 2 collaborators. The first is Lewis himself, and the second is an 8-year-old Greta Gerwig. While making Little Women, Gerwig clearly expressed how much she had loved the book as a child, and based on the success of that movie, we expect the new Narnia film to be a grand hit as well. Mark Gordon, Amy Pascal, and Vincent Seiber are serving as producers for the film. Pascal, who also produces the Spider-Man films, has been very vocal about her involvement with the film and has been revealing tidbits of information about it. Pascal has admitted that Gerwig's take on Narnia is completely new. She said that it was all about rock and roll and that she completely trusts Gerwig's vision, as there's no one like her. The rock and roll element suggests that the adaptation may include some modern elements. Either way, with Gerwig helming the ship, there's no way the film is going to be just another traditional adaptation. James Chinland, who has previously worked on The Batman and The Avengers, is taking on production design, while Ben Crooks, who worked on Hugo and The Gorge, is the official prop maker. Costume design will be handled by Jacqueline Duran, who has previously worked with Greta for Barbie and Little Women. Duran is a powerhouse of costume design, as she's won 2 Academy Awards for her work and has been nominated 7 times. Another of Gerwig's returning collaborators for Narnia is Ivana Primorac, who will handle hair and makeup. Nina Gold and Francine Miser have been hired as the UK and US casting directors, respectively. What book is the new movie adapting? The book Greta Gerwig will be adapting is the 1955 novel The Magician's Nephew. Though it was the 6th published novel, it was chronologically the first. The story begins in London, where 2 kids, Diggory Kirk and Polly Plummer, are caught in a mystical wood between worlds thanks to magical rings that were given to them by Diggory's uncle. The kids encounter the White Witch and unknowingly let her loose in London, but thankfully they find Aslan the Lion, who helps them. It also explains how Aslan the Lion created the world of Narnia by centering a section of a lamppost. Set 1,000 years before The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Magician's Nephew starts the history of Narnia. The fact that this is the novel they're adapting was revealed to us in December 2024 by Jason Isaacs himself. Don't get excited by hearing that name though, as he was just the messenger, and we don't know whether he's involved in the movie or not yet. Adapting The Magician's Nephew is a clever choice by Greta, as it hasn't been adapted yet and is a book that fans have been eagerly awaiting to see on screen. The delayed comparisons to the Chronicles of Narnia trilogy are just an added bonus. Some radical changes. As we said before, this isn't going to be your usual Narnia film, the flicks we've already seen. This is Greta Gerwig after all. It has to be brand new and break all tradition. One important change in the reboot is the shift in the time period, as some on-set photos have revealed. The Magician's Nephew novel was set in the 1900s during the final years of the Victorian era, but the set photos, which show a young girl in a blue frock and a similarly aged boy with a shirt, sweater vest, and shorts, reveal that Gerwig's adaptation might be starting in the 1950s. The kids might be the actors who are playing Polly and Diggory. This would affect the timeline a lot, as The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe were originally set around World War II. With this sliding timeline, that story would now be set in the 1990s, making it quite a modern story. While this might be exciting in some aspects, there's no doubt that the story will lose its old-timey and period charm. Who all is going to be in the film? The cast for this one is completely star-studded. Emma Mackey, who starred in Gerwig's Barbie, has been cast as a younger version of Jadis, the White Witch. There were talks of Charlie XCX or Margaret Qualley being considered for the role, but ultimately, Mackey won over the casting directors. James Bond actor Daniel Craig is reportedly playing the role of Andrew Ketterly, aka Uncle Andrew, the magician referred to in the title. The role of Diggory Kirk's mother, Mabel Kirk, will be played by Carey Mulligan, whom you might have seen in Promising Young Women, Saltburn, and Far from the Madding Crowd. There have been rumors that Meryl Streep herself will voice Aslan. Though Streep has been in talks with the filmmakers for the movie, there's been no official confirmation as to whether or not she'll play the Wise Lion. Many, however, didn't wait for the outrage and automatically assumed that Aslan would be gender-swapped. Fans considered it nothing less than blasphemy, forcing filmmakers to address the rumors and confirming that Aslan will not be a lioness, but a lion, as the book intended. Whether Meryl Streep will play the lion or not is a question that's still up in the air. Another name that's been heard among the cast is Louis Partridge, who rose to stardom from his role in Enola Holmes. Liam Neeson's name has also been tossed around, but only time will tell what roles these actors are going to play. Some important dates. Principal photography has already begun for Narnia, the Magician's Nephew, on August 11th, courtesy of which we got an early look at the sets. Cinematographer Seamus McGarvey has been busy with capturing the streets of London that have been turned back in time to resemble the 1950s. Shepperton Studios, which served as a production base and filming location for Captain America: The First Avenger and The Omen, will also be a primary location for the Magician's Nephew. Filming for the movie will shift between Shepperton Studios, London, and Surrey, England. With filming expected to wrap up in early 2026, you can expect to see this film very soon. Netflix plans. Unlike other Netflix films, Narnia, The Magician's Nephew will be first released exclusively on 1,000 IMAX screens on November 26, 2026, right around time for Thanksgiving. If you'd rather be a couch potato and watch the movie at home, you'll have to wait until December 25th, 2026, when Netflix will bring you the movie as a gift from Santa Claus himself. According to experts, this movie by Netflix plays on two needs. The first is that Netflix doesn't want to commit to a complete theatrical release and the losses that might occur because of it. Second, that doesn't mean that the streaming giant wants to miss out on the revenue generated by highly anticipated movies. The limited release on IMAX will apparently run for just 2 weeks. Many film studios and theater chains have been left angered because of this exclusive deal between Netflix and IMAX. They were left blindsided as they had no idea this was happening, and now they're afraid that movies set to release in the latter part of 2026 will be in danger of losing out on releases. A central player in this whole fiasco is Disney, who makes a ton of money for IMAX by releasing their movies through IMAX screens. Some large theater chains have already declared war on Netflix and IMAX by simply stating they won't be playing Narnia in their theaters come November 2026. Since IMAX just licenses their technology to the theater chains, it's ultimately the choice of the latter to do what they please. This threat is apparently scary for the filmmakers, but IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond is not scared in the least, as he told journalists that he has a nuclear option up his sleeve that he won't hesitate to use if theaters don't cooperate. Now, whether there is such a nuclear option will be confirmed once the movie finishes post-production. A mega debate. A major fear among fans is that Greta Gerwig might abandon the Christian allegory for a concentrated portrayal of mere fantasy. The argument of these fans is that there is no Chronicles of Narnia without Christian symbolism. The faith, redemption, and complexity of the symbolism is what differentiates Chronicles of Narnia from innumerable fantasy tales out there. If you want our 2 cents on it, we would first like to remind these fans that even C.S. Lewis himself has insisted that the so-called Christian allegory is just a supposition, so there is no rigid Christian framework around which the story is based, but mere similarities that can be read as Christian allegory if the reader chooses to do so. It is, however, unarguable that just a cursory look at the novels will have most people remembering stories from the Bible. But Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos has already comforted the fears of the fans, telling them that they won't shy away from the Christian allegory, as he believes the work to be rooted in faith. In our opinion, the only way to honor The Magician's Nephew is by being as faithful to the themes as possible. Things to hope for. There are many things the original film adaptation didn't consider while adapting the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, there's a chance to right these wrongs. Gerwig seems to have started on the right foot, as the first issue was the order of chronology. Since the 6th book is technically the first, starting with The Magician's Nephew gives readers the necessary insight about the characters of Aslan and the White Witch as we follow the history of Narnia. Another story change that fans are expecting is that of the Last Battle. The Last Battle is darker than the rest of the Narnia books and reveals that the Pevensies have been dead the whole time from a car crash, but were sent to Narnia as they were true believers. Many are of the opinion that this is the most depressing turn in the novels and that it should be changed into the Pevensies being alive. What's your opinion on this one? Let us know in the comments whether you would rather have a faithful adaptation or see the Pevensies return to the real world for a happy ending. Marvelous verdict! And that's all we know about the Narnia reboot. The rumor mill has also reported that Netflix intends to release more Narnia movies. If things go well and Gerwig's 2 contracted films become a hit, there are 6 more potential movies to be considered. This is yet another rumor though, and we can only wait until 2026 to find out more. Let us know if we left out any other information about Narnia the Magician's Nephew in the comments down below, and if you like this video, tap that thumbs up to encourage us. We'll soon be back with more awesome stuff, but until then, stay safe and stay magical.